Hi, I'm Andrew Simpson with Ether Automation, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to update a creator form with information in Zoho Desk in a live dropdown. So this is actually a three-part series where I'm going to show you how to integrate a creator form with Zoho Desk to enrich some of the features in Zoho Desk. So let me start by sharing my screen. Hopefully I'm sharing the right screen. Otherwise, this will be a short video. Great. So I'm in Zoho Creator, right? And I have also Zoho Desk right here. Let me just. So what I want is that when I access this application, this list here is the list of tickets. Because what we're going to do in this three-part series is we're going to set it up so that when I submit this, this creates a comment, and this will create a time entry, right, for this comment. So, but step one is I need to be able to select the ticket that I want to add a comment and time entry to. So how do I do that? We're going to do this in two parts. One is we're going to create a standalone function, and then two, we're actually going to enable this. So let's start by creating a standalone function. We're going to call this one, the name of the function is display desk tickets. Namespace is default. The return type, we want that to be a list, and there's going to be no arguments. So create the function. Cool, so let's make some architecture here. Let's start out by having something that looks like this. Get desk tickets, and we're going to want to filter desk tickets, and then finally we want to return them. Return formatted tickets. So the first thing we want to do is to get the Zoho Desk tickets. So how do we do that? So if I go Zoho Desk API, there is an API call for this. We're going to be using the API call rather than the Deluge standalone function. So if we list all tickets, this is the function. So we have to get an org ID, the authorization, and this API call, or this URL. Now, because all this stuff is queries, and if you don't know what those are, you can see my previous videos on API calls. We really only need this. So let's copy this. And let's go down here and do an invoke URL. Tickets. So let's put this in quotes. So now that we have the type, we need to get the headers in there, right? And the headers are actually very simple because if you remember, it's just the org ID. Now, if you look closely, this is very funny. This is incorrect. There should actually not be a little quotation mark at the end. It should be at the end of org ID. You know, if you know anything about JSON, strings are in quotes, but numbers are not. So there's a little mistake from Zoho there. So let's get the org, what do they call it? Org ID, copy org ID, and then there's these two dots, and then we actually want the org ID. Now, how do we get that org ID? I go into my Zoho Desk. This is the new UI. Let me go to this gear in the top right, click APIs, scroll down to the bottom, and here's my org ID. So let's go ahead and do that. Paste. And finally, we need the connection. And the connection we're using is actually Desk. I'm going to make this in a different video, how to make these connections in Zoho Creator, because the UI has recently changed for this. But you want to make the microservices in Zoho OAuth, similar to how we do this in CRM. So let's just go ahead and make one called Desk. Info tickets. So now if I run this, it's going to show me all of the tickets. Great. So now we want to filter the tickets. So for each record, tickets.get data potential tickets. Now, we need to add all of these tickets into, like, through some filter, maybe through some if, to a list. So let's go output list equals list. And let's put that here. And then if, now I don't know what it says, so true, you're going to put your filter in. In our case, I don't have any actual filters I want to use, but you put your filters in here. So we have, you know, the status is blah, 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 or, you know, whatever. You put your filter in here. Then we want to go output list dot add potential ticket, and we're going to do two things. So we're going to go dot get subject, right, plus potential ticket dot get ID. So now when I run this, it shows me here's your first ticket, and that's the ID. The reason we're passing through the ID is we will be using this at a later stage, right? So in one of the other videos in the future, I'm going to show you how to create a time entry into this ticket. And we're going to want the ID there just in case there's two tickets with the same name. Great. So now that we're outputting all of our tickets, let's go ahead and click save here. Let's click done. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to go to a form workflow. We're going to create a form workflow. And this is on creator edited and the load of the form. And we're going to call this one populate tickets. So this is actually very simple. What we want to do is we want to input, and we're going to input into the ticket field, which is this one right here, right? Or actually, there you go, this one right here. And then we're going to put this here. This is the trick right here. It's very important. I'm going to put a bookmark right here. UI.add. Right, so that means we're going to add to the UI. And what do we want to add? Well, if I go to refer fields and go to functions, we have display desk tickets, which is the one we created. I can copy that and paste that right here, and then click save. And now if I refresh this page, boom, here's your first ticket. I can click this and then submit it. So let me click update and save. I hope this was helpful. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to create a comment on that ticket once submitted. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks very much.